she a champion. She might as well do some more when she a clocking in. But I'ma lead you to the water, bitch, you better swim. I'm a motherfucking gangster, I am not a pimp. Ain't chasing nothing but the paper, do you understand? Don't give a fuck about your feelings, we are not kin. These niggas acting like we homies, but we not friends. You got your phone, you nigga, then throw your set up. I got my own little bitch, you better get up. She wanna slide with grip, she see the cheddar. These niggas hate this shit, but he's a killer. A whole lot of money on me, better know it. I keep that motherfucking fire on me, fully loaded. Don't play no motherfucking games when I'm out in public. So watch your motherfucking hands when you talking to me. Cause I'll check a nigga chin if you run up on me. I'm gangsta gripping to the end if you didn't know me. So if you talking like you with it, then you gotta show it. You with the saddle line crippin', then you gotta go. If you ain't listening, then I'm tripping, that's on where you go. I give it up to baby chaos and tiny knows. These niggas hate you, then they hate us, so let them know. So you can get it how you want it, get that ass smoke. I'ma pull right up on them on the dead low. A gang and don't bang. Trade, South Park on my chain. Yeah, yeah, Third Street, them can't beat them. You got your phone, you nigga, then throw your set up.
What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Cartoon 53. Man, I'm back. I come from that. Now, y'all heard that. Man, I come from that. They're my little homies and my little home girls. My little homies and my little home girls, man. I can honestly say that when I went to prison, I don't think it was nobody in that whole video that was around that I knew when I was on the streets. They all too young. They all too young. I get out of prison all these years later, and bam, voila. You know what I'm saying? Before I went to prison, you know, the set was thick. But when I got out of prison, it was thicker, meaning that it was more. It was a lot of us before I went. But now when I got out, it was even more. You feel what I'm saying? And I tell you all the time that, you know, Fire Trey Avalon is so family oriented that we ain't never going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's from the set, 9 times out of 10, they kids gonna be from the set. And they kids gonna pull other people to the set and their kids. And it just goes on and on and on. A lot of the people in that video, they mothers and fathers were the people that I grew up with when I started gangbanging. They were homies from my generation. And it just goes on and on and on, y'all. That is the nature of LA. That is the culture of LA, man. That's how it goes. I don't care what you doing. I don't care how much money is involved. When you born and raised in LA, that's what it is. And when I'm saying LA, I'm not just speaking on South Central, y'all. You know, y'all know me. I call Compton, Watts, Gardena, Inglewood, all the surrounding areas in Southern California. I call all that LA. All that's LA to me. So when I say LA, I'm not just speaking on South Central. I'm speaking on almost everything in Southern California. That's our nature. It's in our culture. It's in our DNA. You could take the boy out the set, but you can't take the set out the boy, man. Been there, done that. We start like some said, we started this gangster SHIT, you know? And it is what it is, man. A lot of people just now coming to the realization, hey man, them dudes in LA, man, hey, they gangbang. That's just what they gonna do. It is what we going to do. Because for us in this day and age, gang banging is not just a pastime. No, it ain't just something we do when we get to a certain age and then we decide we gonna do something different. No, we are there. It's there. It's not going anywhere. It hasn't evolved. Yes, it has evolved into different things to the point to where it's a family affair. You know, whatever set that you may be from, whether it's blue or red, it's your family, man. And you just can't throw your family away. Now, is it a better way to do it? Yeah. And that's the transition LA's in right now. We looking for a better way to represent our set. We looking for a better way to, you know, let people know, hey, this is what we're about, and this is what it's gonna be about. You know what I'm saying? We trying to show people it's not just all about drive-bys, writing on the walls, or whatever. No, it's more positive things we can do within this, you know, Southern California gang scene. that makes it not so detrimental to our prospective areas. Change is coming. Is it gonna happen overnight? No. But is it happening? Yes, it is. And I showed that video right there. That's my homie Tebow. One of the best rappers we got from Fire Travelon. Good dude, good homie. And a rider in his own rights. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put his business out there too much, but he way more he about way more than just some rapping, put it like that, you know. But anyway, but yeah, man. It gets in, man, look. This gang thing, man, in LA, when you're born and raised in it, man, it gets into your system. It gets into your DNA, into your psyche, into your cerebellum, into the skin. It gets into every fiber of your body, man. Until you realize there is no separating it. It is what it is. It was what it was. And it's going to always be what it's going to be. Or see. It's us. This is us. You got to learn to take it or reject it. Accept it or reject it. But LA is going to always be what LA is going to always be, y'all. You know? Simple as that. And some people, even in LA, take to it a little harder than others. Me. My homies designated me Robo Banger back in the day. You feel what I'm saying? Robo Banger, because I was with it 24/7. I was with it, y'all. I was with it. It's all I knew. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not proud to say I forsook my regular family, my mothers, my sisters, my aunts, uncles, and cousins, and all that. I forsook them to give my life to Avalon Crippin. My mother, man, when I was a young kid, she sent me away so many times, and to the point trying to keep me from South Park, to the point where I told her, man, if you send me away one more time, I'm gonna run away. I ain't never coming back. She couldn't stop it, man. Man, my poor little mama, she did her best. But no, once you bit, you gonna turn. And South Park bit me at a young age, homie. And I turned. I turned into the best Avalon gangster crip that I could be. And it's all I knew, man. Spent the majority of my life in jail, juvenile halls, camps, YAs, county jails, prisons, from state to state to state to state to state. Behind Avalon Gangster Crip. And a lot of people say, well, Tune, do you regret it? You regret it? I'm not even going to say that, homie. Because every chance I get, even though I live in Alabama, every chance I get, I go back to it. And if I regretted it that hard, I wouldn't go back to it. I go back to it every chance I get. And I will always go back to it every chance I get, because I love Avalon. I love my set. I love my set, man. Wouldn't trade it in for nothing in the world. But I love my set enough that every time I go back, I try to make more positive changes within the set. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at it like I looked at it when I was a young kid. Smash, bash, trash, and grash. You know what I'm saying? Just doing stuff. No. I'm with the peace movement, y'all. Yeah. You know, I would like to see Crips, Bloods get along. Different enemy Crips says get along. Different enemy Blood says I'd like to see them get along. And when I go back now, I do my part to try to bring that about. Instead of bringing about the destruction of my community, I try to bring about the proliferation of my community, you know? And like I say, but because of me being dedicated the way I was to my set, man, I did the majority of my life behind bars, man. Behind bars. And I tell y'all my stories and y'all hear them. And I told y'all I have over 1,600 videos out now about stuff that went on with me in jail and out of jail in my life as a child, as an adult. I tell y'all these stories, and y'all heard so much. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of y'all mind, y'all think I was out there in the streets a long time, but I wasn't. I told you before, man, I would get out and I'd hit the ground running. I'm in it. Because in the back of my mind, I knew that at any given day, I was going back to jail because I always went back to jail. It seemed like I was always getting caught. Yeah. It seemed like I was always getting caught. And it's like, dang, I used to sit in there and just, rack my mind and think like, hey, this is where I'm supposed to be? Because I'm always going to jail. I always get caught. Dang. Never knowing though, deep down, God had a plan for me though. He had to allow me to go through the ringer to receive his plan. And I received it now. But I couldn't see it back then when I was a young kid. But yeah, man, look, my jail career started in 1979. I went to jail with one of the homies. I went to jail with my homeboy Boo. And got out in 80. You know what I'm saying? A little few days difference. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in there that long, but boom, 80 flipped over. No, excuse me, I got out in 79. And a few weeks later, end up going back in 80 with my homeboy Ticky. Went back in 80, got out in 82. I stayed 2 weeks. I went right back in 82 and stayed 83, 84, and 85, in 86. I got out in 86. I stayed 2 months. 2 months. End up going right back. Got out again in 87 though. I stayed 3 months. I stayed 3 months, y'all. I ended up going right back. I got out in 88. I stayed out 2.5 months. I went right back in 88. I got out in 89. I stayed 4.5 months. I went right back in 89. I got out in 96. 1996. From 89, then I didn't get out again until 1996. I stayed 4.5 months and went right back in 96. I didn't get out again till 2018. I didn't get out again till 2018, man. And that's when I got out this time, and I've been out ever since, man. I've been out ever since. So, I mean, if you add it up, man, let me see. Other than the time that I've been out this time, before now, let me see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, let's see, okay. If my ad is correct, from 1979 till 2018, I was only on the streets about 15 months. So all the stories that I tell y'all, all the stuff that I talk about, other than my childhood stuff, but anything that was going on after jail, after I started going to jail, all that took place within a 15-month period at different times. Not 15 months straight. 4 here, 2 here, 2 there, 3 here, whatever. I told you, man, I was like the Marines. I did more before 6 a.m. than most people did all day. I was on it from the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep. I was banging. I was on it, looking to do something to one of my enemies, looking to get into something, right on something. I promoted it 24/7. Man, I promoted that thing, man. It's all I knew. It was my life. It was my life. I had, for a lot of them years, different times when I was in and out, I had my dog with me, man, Crazy Ray. Two like-minded people, two different styles, but two like-minded people, man. He was there with me, man. And when I tell you we did that thing, man, I tell you we did that thing, man, to the best of our ability. If they gave a a grade for gang banging, I ain't to toot my own horn, but man, me and the homie would have had a A plus. I know for a fact I would have had an A plus. Cause see, not only did I put the set on my back on the streets and run with it, man, I put it on my back and my head inside the prison and jail and white walls and ran with that thing. If I was anywhere I was at where I was in jail, whether it was juvenile facilities, YA, prison, county jail, man, I made sure that Avalon was on the scoreboard. I made sure that people heard the word East Side Avalon. You from, cuz? Come from East Side Avalon, I remember we was coming back from court one day, and I was in the county jail. I think I was in 4800 or 4700, wonder. But the chains was chained in back of us. And so a dude asked me where I was from. And I told him. But after that, I was like, you know what, man? I don't want nobody to ever have to ask me where I'm from. I want them to be able to look at me and see it wrote on me. You will know where I'm from. And I immediately start getting, any place that a person could look that wasn't going to be covered with clothes, I put the turf on me. Right here is, no, that's 3 teardrop. But right here, I'm old now. And my a lot of my tattoos are disappearing. But right here, that's 5'3". That's 5 tray on my face. I got an AC right here above my eye with the 3 teardrops. Now, when I was younger, it showed up real good. I'm older and darker now, so it's kind of done blended in. But when I was younger, it showed up real good. And my thing for putting my, that was I didn't want nobody to have to wonder where I was from, have to ask where I was from. No, when you walk up on me and see me, you gonna know where I'm from because it's tatted in my face. And my thing was, if you get along with us, cool. If you don't, bomb, take off. Let's do it. Because I'm from Eastside AVALON gang. That's how my mind was back then, y'all. All them years gone, man. From 79 to 2018, however many years that is, I was only out. I was only out on the streets 14 and some change, 15 months or whatever, out of all that. Now, some people just shake their head, but hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And I pushed the turf in that jail, in those jailhouses, in those prison yards, in them YA yards, just as hard as I pushed it on the street. Because how I coped with it, I told myself, you know what? The homies on the street uplifting the turf. They doing it out there. So I felt it was my job to do it in this jailhouse, do it in these prison walls, uplift the turf. Make sure that we had a good standing. Anybody that ever did time with me that's from the set, they'll tell you, when you was on the yard and I was on the yard, man, you bet not make Avalon look bad because I was not having it. I would deal with your behind in a harsh way. It was a lot of homies didn't like when I pulled up. Man, dang, man, tune here, man. They know what I was finna do. If you made Avalon look bad, I was gonna deal with you. And when I got off the bus, it was a problem with the Mexicans, I was taking off. That's how that was, man. That's dudes coming from my generation back then, that was our life. To me, these youngsters of today, they'll say they just as hard or they'll say they doing it just the same, but no. How can you say you doing it just the same when it ain't even a dress code no more? It ain't even a color code no more. How can you say you doing it just the same when the lines that was written in the sand, the rules have been blurred? You don't know who down with who no more. You don't know who get along with who no more. You don't even know who's supposed to get along with who no more. Everything been changed. So now I can't give the youngsters of today the same credit I gave us from back in the day because too many things have been changed. It's been made too easy. It's been made too easy, y'all. Hey, Oh well, but things still going status quo though. But yeah, man, that was my life then. Since I've been out this time, man, God has blessed me immensely though, man. You know, some things don't change until with time, with age. I don't care how much you preach to a person. I don't care how much you talk to a person, try to tell a person this, this, and this. Some people just not gonna change because you telling them this and this. Some people are gonna just have to change over time. They learn different, they see different, they get older and wiser. And see, that's what it was with me. Even though in a lot of my videos, man, I'm preaching to these youngsters about don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. When I was younger, the people was preaching that same thing to me. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it. Only thing I wanted to hear was East Side Avalon, South Park. And I ended up doing the majority of my life in jail behind having that attitude. You know? Can't turn back the hands of time. What happened didn't happen. But I know I got the few years I got left in front of me. I'm going to live them to the fullest. But I'm also live them trying to, even if it work or don't work, show youngsters a better way. You know, I'm not like the other people. I'm not telling you don't be from your set. I'm not telling you that. Far be it for me to tell you don't be from your set. I'm not even going to sit here and tell you don't join a set. If that's what you really want to do. But what I will say to you, look at this video and look at what my life went through and understand. If you do want go join that set, you are opening the door to live that same type of life. And the part I'm talking about is doing all them years in jail. That's what you opening the door for. So if you build for it, hey man, if you build for it, hey, more power to you then. If you rather be in jail than on the streets, then hey, more power to you, man. More power to you. But for those that's already from a set, already doing what you're doing, be from your set, homie. But do what you have to do to make your set better. To make it where you ain't got to worry about your little homies getting chipped. To make it to where you ain't got to worry about your homegirls getting chipped. To make it to where you can stand out and kick it and you ain't got to worry about if this car, that car is coming through to put work in on you. Do what you do what you can do to change that narrative. You know what I'm saying? When you in the party and y'all all around each other, man, do your fingers however you want to do them, you know? But it's a way to do it to where you ain't got to lose life. It's a way to do it where you ain't got to go take life, you know? With the peace thing that everybody was talking about a couple of months ago in LA, nobody was ever saying, don't gang bang, don't do this, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But people saying, hey, man, you ain't got to hurt the dude who lived 2 blocks down from you just because you from this and he from that. That's what everybody just saying, man. If you bang, you bang. Ooh-wee, I banged. And I still represent my turf to the fullest. That ain't gonna change. But I rep it in a more intelligent, in a more humane way than I did when I was a kid. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, man, I ain't finna talk y'all ears off with this old soft melancholy video I done made, man. You know, hey, be safe, man. Tell the people that you love them, homie. Keep your head on a swivel. And stay tuned, man. I got some more stuff coming up for y'all, man, next month. I'll be back in LA pretty soon. In a few more days to be exact. But when I get back, I got some stuff coming from you, man. Shout out to my big partner Mike, man. The person know who I'm talking about. Peace. And I represent the gangsters. I'm out.